let's get started with the really big news that happened since our last podcast, in that um, Netflix has made a bid to acquire Warner Brothers. They made the bid for the Warner Brothers streaming services, the Warner Brothers movie studios, all of their sound studios, their film lots, everything except their legacy cable programming for an unseemly amount of money. I believe it's like $81 billion. But for comic book creators, that's not really the main story because, as you all obviously know, DC Comics, one of the major comic book publishers in the North American market, is a division of Warner Brothers. So if Netflix buys Warner Brothers, Netflix by definition gets DC. The reason why this has an impact on comic book creators is because comic book creators on every level, especially independents, a lot of them looked to Netflix as the ultimate destination for their IP. If this merger goes through, and the merger has not gone through yet because Paramount is still attempting to also acquire Warner Brothers. But if the deal goes through the way it is structured now, it is going to be far less likely that an entity like Netflix is going to be looking for additional comic book intellectual property. If I already own Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and the thousands and thousands of other pieces of intellectual property that DC owns, the idea that I'm going to then spend more money on an unknown IP coming from an independent publisher goes down a lot. What I think this means for independent publishers is, if you still want to have some kind of multimedia distribution for your intellectual property, you're going to have to look at other avenues, whether it's the micro dramas that are popping up in Vertical Scroll, whether it's foreign distribution, whether it's some other type of emerging media that's going to have more of an appetite for comic book related IP. That might be a direction to look into, because it is quite possible that the Netflix option will no longer be viable. That's not to say Netflix will never buy another comic book related IP again, but the idea that they're going to be actively searching for one, if they already have the Trinity in their pocket, is unlikely.